Fresh out of the theater. Just saw Disclosure Day. This is my out of the theater response. It was boring and it sucked. And it was a huge cop out. It should have been called Cop Out Day. It does not get the good old day recommendation. No way. I mean, it was like a perfectly competent movie, of course. It's kind of out of Steven Spielberg fashion. It didn't traumatize me at all. We have Spielberg to thank. Your average person really wouldn't think much about dinosaurs, aliens, Nazis, and then all those wonderful, like, traumatizing films from when I was growing up. Pretty sure he produced them all, like Land Before Time. Did he do All Dogs Go to Heaven? Brave Little Toaster? I don't know, you name it. And forgive the camera shaking and the darkness. But yeah, I wasn't crazy about this movie. It looked like a nightmare. There's something about Spielberg, like his newer movies, or I guess the ones in the last 20 something years, have just been hideous to look at. I didn't watch all of his movies. Like Minority Report, hideous looking movie. I kind of like it, but I don't know. I don't really want to fucking watch it again. It's just so ugly looking. And War of the Worlds is hideous looking. But this has that same like nightmare tone digital Spielberg movies have. But anyways, it was fine, I guess. My viewing experience kind of was fun up until like the last act of the movie when these like really annoying teenagers showed up just out of nowhere and all decided to sit 3 seats down from me, and they made a ton of noise and they just kept talking and they were on their phones. And if the movie was good, I would have been really pissed, but the movie sucked. All the actors did fine, I guess. Overall, don't recommend. In the very end of it, you know, this big build up for when you're waiting on something, what's gonna happen, nothing fucking happens. But yeah, I don't really have anything good to say about it, really. Like, there were a few sequences that were kind of exciting, I guess. And then the whole last act of the movie, like I said, like, I've got these annoying kids that are just, I guess they're just going from, like, theater to theater. You know, when Toy Story ended or whatever they were watching, I guess they just decided to crash. I can't hate on that, but if you're gonna do that, don't be, like, annoying. Trying to think of anything good to say about it, and I don't have anything. And it doesn't help that I already have this, not hatred of Steven Spielberg, because like I really like a lot of his movies. Like I grew up on them, but I was also like traumatized by a lot of them, especially the kids movies that he produced. So I'm a little bitter towards the director, and I can't shake that. Steven Spielberg is a great director. Loved Poltergeist, even though he didn't direct that, but he totally did. And speaking of Poltergeist, you see a flashback or a recreation of a memory, however you want to see it, of one of the characters when they were a little girl. And the little girl looked like a brunette version of Heather O'Rourke. She also looked CGI, which was interesting. So I don't know if there was like a real child, but the idea of Steven Spielberg working with CGI children is a good thing. As a matter of fact, all children in cinema should be CGI. I mean, it had like some cool stuff towards the end when these farty kids were making all this fucking noise. So there might have been some cooler stuff there. Maybe I would have been in a better mood had that not happened. But I already kind of hated the movie anyways. And the whole point or conclusion of the movie is to listen to people that have had extraterrestrial experiences. I mean, that was cool. The world could do with more of that, taking people seriously. But yeah, it builds up to a huge cop out. Was my takeaway to the movie. It builds up to this newscast of them playing all this footage, which also I was told that Steven Spielberg included like real footage, and I didn't see any. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see a morsel of real footage in it at all. There was only like 8 people in the theater. I went on the cheap night. And I got out of the theater pretty quick, but I had to go pee because this is a really long film. It was like 2.5 hours. I'm not sure that you could cut much of it out. I guess it could have been shorter. But walking out of the theater, there was an older guy that was sitting a few seats in front of me. And just everybody had this like, ugh. It's not like they hated it or whatever, but you didn't get anything. And I could tell, like, reading the 3 or 4 people that was pretty much the consensus of the movie, is that no one got anything. We got a ride, but it didn't go anywhere. But maybe I'm jaded, maybe I'm biased, maybe I just don't like Steven Spielberg. And then seeing a kid that looked like Heather O'Rourke put me in a weird mood too. But I did see a few people. There was like a couple, and I was walking out with them, and we were all like, yeah, what the hell? If you haven't seen the movie yet, which I don't imagine it's going to run much longer, I would skip it. I would just wait. If you like have to see it, just watch it at home. You can be just as disappointed at home. I probably should have went to see Supergirl. Maybe I'll go see Supergirl next week. Maybe I'll do this every week and have a disappointing experience. It all builds up to this broadcast, and then that gets rebroadcasted to and then everybody in the world is watching this declassified footage of aliens. Spoiler alert. I was kind of chuckling to myself because the first like national news broadcast that picks it up is NBC, which is funny because since this, even while they were making this movie, MSNBC had rebranded to MS Now. I just don't see MS Now or NBC or whatever picking this up without some kind of retarded angle. But I just kept seeing in my head like the Morning Joe and Mika reporting on this. And at the end of the movie, it shows all the people watching, people in train stations and airports, and all staring at their phones, hearing this stuff, which would be an incredible event if it really happened. I also wish that it would have showed like slobs sitting on their couch, like crushing a box of cereal with their hand. That would have been too on the nose. But yeah. Disclosure Day, Cop Out Day. I would struggle to give this movie like a 1 thumbs up. Really underwhelmed by it. Can't recommend it. Can't not recommend it enough. Wasn't a good time. I wish I had seen Supergirl, because at least that might have been a little bit fun. So yeah, thumbs down. Disclosure Day, sucked ass. Don't waste your time. Fuck Steven Spielberg.